Welcome to This or That.
Nightmare edition.
So here's a nightmare scenario I have for you, JP. Your neighbors talk to you for a minimum of 20 minutes every time you leave your house or see them. Or no one speaks to you, but you know they all hate you.
Decisions. So right now, I do have neighbors who stop and talk to me every single time. My neighbor across the street has probably lived there 40 years. He knows everything about everyone. I had given him my cell phone for some reason.
Oh no.
So he texts me all the time, like, hey, that tree in your yard is getting pretty high. I'm like, oh, thanks, man.
So you gotta keep him on your good side?
I gotta keep him on my good side. I don't know how to mow my lawn, according to him, so he will do it for free.
Oh.
So it's kind of like a jab, but a really nice jab. Really nice guy. I think there's something to say about neighbors who are kind of looking out for you all the time, so I do appreciate that. I am okay with people hating me and never talking to anyone.
I could have guessed that was what you were going with.
I'm sorry,
so,
like,
all right,
I'm okay with that.
That's fine. I have a neighbor that also, I personally would go with leaving my house in silence, knowing that I'm going to be talking in the office all day.
Yeah, I think it's because of our jobs that we turn it on.
And when you gotta go, I don't have 20 minutes to be late to a showing.
Yeah, my neighbor next door, I love him. He's so nice. He was running for alderman.
Oh,
so every time I saw him, he was campaigning so hard. Like, just me. I was like, hey. I was like, oh.
You're like, you got my vote.
Well, you got it. Yeah, I felt so bad. He asked me the other day, he's like, hey, Saturday we're doing a fundraiser. Are you gonna be there? I was like, absolutely not. But you have my vote, sir.
You got it.
I was like, I'm in real estate. Like, I am so busy right now.
We're looking for a yes or a no, too, so
like,
we get it.
I'm just like, no.
Done.
Free pizza, though, but I said no.
Oh, okay. Leaky roof or flooded basement?
These are some nightmare scenarios.
Yeah.
I've been lucky to have both. If you live in Chicago long enough, both will happen. We had a roof disaster at the last condo I worked at, and it was awful. It was bad. It caused hundreds of thousands of damage to the upstairs neighbors. It was a long, drawn-out process. Just getting the right contractor to do the work for remediation of the water, for rebuilding the walls and everything, and even just the claims for the damages of things that were like paintings and stuff. It's just so much. I was in a situation too where a basement flooded. They both are terrible. I think it's just because it's water. Water goes wherever it wants to. You can't close the door on it. If I had to choose one, it would be leaky roof. And the reason, yes, the reason why, water coming up from the basements is really hard to pinpoint.
True.
It's hard to, it could be a check sewer valve that needs to be fixed or installed. It could be foundation cracks. It can be so many things. It can cost you $500 or installing a $30,000 French drain system and sub pump.
Right.
Where roof, it's the roof. We're going to find this. Like, we just need to take off the shingles, take off the plywood, like, you're going to find it. I would feel better with a leaky roof than a flooded basement for that.
I go back and forth. Originally I thought roof, then I switched to basement, but now I'm kind of back on roof because it's easier to pinpoint. Like you said, they could end up being the same price depending on what it is. And if it's a foundation thing, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm also thinking resale value.
Yeah, people would rather hear that you replace the roof versus you having a leaky basement and hopefully
even if, like, when I've had clients look at a place and say, hey, they waterproof the basement, it's still a worry.
Right.
It's still, like, I have a client right now who they have the basement waterproofed in this new construction home, and they were still worried about it.
Yeah.
Is the sub pump this, and what's going on with that? And then the insurance company had questions. Are you in a flood zone? It was a brand new home, but still had questions about that. And I think that's the issue with water in the basement. It's like, you just don't know. You can never be too sure. With the roof, chop it off, put a new roof on there, we're done.
I think this is the first time we're in agreement and that we'll ever say we'll take a leaky roof.
Yeah, leaky roof,
leaky roof. Would you rather have your house infested with rats or a cracked foundation? Hit me.
Here's a problem. I have a story for every single scenario.
No.
And we were in the last condo we were in, we had mice that popped up in one day. 5 of them.
Right.
In one day.
And they don't stop.
I hate rodents. I can't do it. I didn't sleep that night. I stood on top of the kitchen island and just watched them one by one come out. I went to Walgreens and I bought every single sticky trap they had and I threw them all over the house and just watched one by one. I caught 4 of them and the last one got smart and I had to borrow my neighbor's cat from downstairs. And I put the cat in there and I had a camera and the cat actually caught
it.
It was
there
the
you
craziest
go.
Craziest thing. So I hate rodents.
A free contractor.
Yes, he was paid in catnip. I hate rodents, but if I had to choose between rodents and a crack foundation, I'm choosing crack foundation.
Really? Okay.
I hate rodents.
No, I do too. I
Like
get
crack
it.
foundation, because I've seen how they are fixed. If if it's a finished basement, yes, you gotta take down the drywall and you got a lot of work. But if it's not, you can actually see where the crack is, and it's pretty easy to fix. It's just the uncertainty of, okay, how long is this gonna last?
Right.
Is this actually a remedy? Is this just a Band-Aid? At least with the foundation, I don't have to worry about the foundation producing little baby foundations, you know? Because like with mice, produce little baby mice. And then
No, they don't stop, and it's never
stop. It's
ending,
gross.
and they leave things behind, and it's nasty.
The way I found that mouse in my place, I was watching TV, and out of the corner of my eye, I just see this thing going down the baseboard, and I
You
was
see
like,
a shadow coming at you?
I like grabbed my shoe and like perfectly threw it, hit it, and I was like, I can't believe I just caught a mouse. And then another one popped up. And then I turned everything off and I could hear them. It's like, this next week. I was like, yeah, I can't do rodents. I would take a crack in the foundation over a rodent.
Your sleep demon there.
I can't do it.
Okay, I disagree. Hard on this one.
So Megan has rats in our place.
I also hate rodents. I used to live next to an alley. I used to walk around an extra like 10 minutes to avoid the alley. So I was terrified, still am, hate them. It makes my heart stop. That being said, I would probably rather rent or like get a hotel for a couple nights, call a professional and spend the like $1,200, $1,500 that it costs to get rid of them. And I'm taking rats over cracked foundation. What if there's more than one crack?
What's the next thing?
All right, we're not going to come to agreement on this one.
Tell us in the comments, rats or foundation?
All right, next up, we have loud upstairs neighbor or a bar beneath you.
It depends. Ooh, no. I would rather take the bar. The reason why, it's hard to live in a condo and like piss off your neighbors. It's just tough. So I feel like if you had a loud neighbor, at some point you would say something about it.
Right.
I've had loud neighbors, and in a condo, you just kind of accept that your neighbors, you can hear them.
Part of the
So
living.
my neighbor upstairs a long time ago, I think she did jazzercise every day at noon.
What's with you getting lucky neighbors, huh?
Yeah, we could do this all day. Like, it's just, they're great people. She actually was an incredible baker, so it evened out the time.
Okay, there we go.
Evened out, incredible baker. Best shortbread cookies I've ever had. Best flan I ever had. Like, so jazzercise your life away.
Okay, that's why she was jazzercising.
Yeah, she's incredible. And my neighbors downstairs, they were also kind of loud, but they also like did breakfast every Sunday. So we just went down there and just ate breakfast with them. So we kind of like party, they're gonna party, but at least they'll have breakfast. And if they party, I would just go downstairs and just grab a slice of pizza, like knock on the door. I wouldn't say just grab pizza. I don't mind the loud neighbors, but I think with the loud neighbors, it could be at all times of the day. With a bar, it's probably 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., maybe 11.
Maybe like 2 a.m.
Dang, maybe 2 a.m. Okay, I changed my mind. I would rather have loud neighbors than, dang, this is a tough one.
It is tough. I think I'm going loud bar.
Yeah.
The only reason I say that is like at least you know it's gonna end at a certain time. Like your neighbors could be loud 24 hours of the day with their kids running around, a dog, who knows if they're yelling at each other. And I think when it's neighbors, it's more personal. When it's a company, yeah. I think they have to, A, there's probably laws they have to follow, and B, I think...
You just file a complaint.
Yeah, or like the owner has to be more I guess they don't have to, but they should be more professional in coming to some sort of solution.
I can see that, because your neighbor just tell you to go kick rocks.
Right, and be like, and then they'll be petty and stomp on.
Wow, that's a tough one. Tell us what you think in the comments.
In-unit laundry, but it takes up the one closet you have for extra storage, or tons of storage in the unit, but common laundry.
I would pick in-unit laundry with no storage. I feel like you can be creative with storage under the bed, in that kitchen cabinet that no one could ever reach. Ooh, that's tough. But I don't want to do common laundry, because I don't want to leave my stuff downstairs. I also don't want to wash my clothes with other people. When I was renting a long time ago, it wasn't a big deal. I didn't think about it. But my kid vomits on stuff. Do you want like my vomit kid stuff in the common laundry?
No.
Imagine all the other stuff that's like, people are
Right.
weird. Like,
Yeah.
I just wouldn't want all that in there. They might leave a pen in the dryer and mess your clothes up or something. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't, I wouldn't want to do common laundry. When all I wore was jeans and band shirts my entire life, great.
Right,
But now,
true. Now that you have like nice
I'm
clothes.
like, I want to kind of make sure that they're in good condition. So I would pick in-unit laundry with no storage. What about you?
I'm going lots of storage, common laundry. The reason I say that is I don't like things on the countertop. I don't want to stuff things in places. I want to store it, and then if I have to do my laundry once a week in the basement, I'm taking it. Or honestly, maybe somebody picks it up. High maintenance tenant, or such a low maintenance tenant that you're not even aware of any issues that could be happening.
Ooh, give me the low maintenance tenants
Low
with no
maintenance.
issues. It might be a problem down the road that you didn't realize the toilet wasn't working.
Right.
But I would rather fix that once a year than deal with them every day.
Yeah.
The thing with multi-units that scare me the most, or even scare most clients, is high maintenance tenants.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that scared me away from it. Like, growing a family, having a baby, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to deal with someone and their average everyday issue. Like, hey man, like my kid's sick, like just fix the leaky sink yourself.
Right.
And most of my clients who are multifamily owners, that's what I get a call about most. I get a call about tenants and the roof. Those are the two things. They say, hey, Jake, my roof is leaking, what do I do? Hey, this tenant isn't paying, what do I do?
Right.
I would rather have a good tenant and not know what's going on. I had a client who had a tenant for 7 years, never was an issue, never said anything. But when we were selling the place, they never changed a filter in the furnace for 7 years. They never did anything. Never cleaned the hair out of the drain. They never did anything.
Right.
So it was
a mess.
It wasn't that it was a mess, it was like obvious negligence. So you're like, wow. Like,
Right.
They didn't trash the place, but you're like, oh my God, like you never cleaned anything.
They probably don't know either.
They didn't know. I don't think they knew, but yeah, I would take tenants who leave me alone, but everything could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm going the same route.
Yeah.
I think as long as you're a landlord that's on top of stuff, like if there was a filter that needs to be changed, like provide them the filter. I guess you don't know for sure they change it, but at least it's a step in the right direction. Hopefully,
Yeah.
if they're low maintenance, they'll probably do it. But yeah, I'm same team here.
Yeah, I don't think I want to deal with
I don't want a
tenants.
phone call at midnight. I don't want a phone call at 5 a.m. But emergencies, and if something's wrong, please tell me.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, low maintenance.
I was on the condo board for my last place I lived at, and when it's good, it's good. But when it's bad, it's like, oh man.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is broken. Hey, this person almost broke in, we need a camera. Hey, the dog's loose in the back. And you're like, wow,
Right.
wow.
Problem solved.
Yes.
Would you prefer to rent to family or rent to strangers? You're speechless.
Man, these are good. If I'm going to run a multifamily unit or a rental unit, I want to take the emotion out of it. Mm-hmm. I'm doing this not because I don't want to be emotionally attached to the unit and to the people. I want to be financially invested into it.
Yeah.
So I think if you have the financial investment and the family emotion behind it, it's just not gonna go well. Because if your family can't pay the rent for some odd reason, they're probably just gonna say, hey, JP, just can't pay the rent this month. But I'm financially invested into this,
Yeah.
and I need you to do that. And it's gonna get messy. Like, business and family just don't mix. It don't mix at all. Yeah, I would rather have the latter. Like, I don't want to rent a family. I would rather buy my family something and just go here.
Good luck.
Cash, do whatever you want to it.
Yeah, no
I'm running
chance.
into the ground. Yeah.
No chance family, strangers all day.
Yeah.
Hate to be like that, but
Yeah.
love you, but no.
Yeah, sorry, my sister, too bad.
No.
Put her in the streets.
If somebody's really, really down, maybe I could like, if it's vacant, I'll give you 2 months. And then you're out.
Yeah, I need to have no emotion in that investment.
Yeah.
No emotion. I don't want to
I agree. That is a good.
Emotion. So if I have to evict somebody, it's not emotional. It's like,
Right.
hey, this is the issue. Or if
You're not paying. Bye.
because if
And then it's the sheriff's problem.
if that happens with family, imagine that.
Then you got to call your grandma. Get the matriarch involved.
Grandma, they're not paying their bills. Like, yeah, that's not.
When it comes to a multifamily, would you prefer to have high tenant turnover with higher pricing or low turnover with a lower rent because they're just good tenants?
Low turnover, low rent.
Yeah.
It's hard to find good tenants. Even if you have a high rent and high turnover, just based on the lower averages, one of those people are gonna suck.
Yeah, for sure.
One of those people, something's gonna happen where it's like, wow, this tenant is
The odds
awful.
are against you.
Yeah, the odds are forever in your favor. You do not want to roll that dice. So like,
No.
I would rather get under market rents, a good tenant, low turnover. I don't have to make profit as long as I can break even.
Right.
Break even, I'll be okay. I don't have to cash flow on the property. I wouldn't want to find a tenant over and over again because it's posting it on the MLS.
Right. You could lose a month or two.
You can lose a month, vacancy percentages. Like then you also have to get one tenant, you probably have to interview like 10.
Right.
Then you have to run 10
Also,
credit
like
reports.
sometimes depending on new tenants, they want you to paint the place. Like they require a lot. And yeah, you get move-in fees or security deposits, but I don't know if depending on what you do, if it balances out with labor and all that.
It's too much to manage. At that point, it almost feels like you're running an Airbnb.
Right. True.
So if you're gonna have high rents and high turnover, just manage an Airbnb instead. Which is for the same reason I think some of my clients who've done Airbnb with their places is why they've switched back to doing long-term tenants because it's so much turnover.
It's less maintenance.
It's less maintenance.
Yeah.
One client I had, he was renting out his he was renting out his coach house and it was making something like $3,600 a month, just ridiculous. He'd rather have a tenant paying $1,900 a month than almost doubling because just the turnover.
The amount of work.
You have to, every time it was paying to clean and like once a month he had to paint something. It's like, this is just, I'm losing money
Right.
In the long run, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna go low rent with a low turnover.
Makes sense, I agree.
What would you rather? Tell us in the comments.